Well, thank you for the reminder. Now
Okay,
it's recording.
cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
How was your week, Sam?
Week was pretty good, but
Mhm,
a few tasks here and there unexpected, but otherwise it was really fine.
mhm, mhm.
Uh, Planning wise, it was a little better compared to last week, the way I was sitting, but the toggle track was amazing.
Yeah.
The
Wow.
insights I
Nice.
got for just 1 week, I
Mhm,
think I've not been able to get such kind of insights for the past 6 years. I've been struggling trying to get insights. I have something called a CAT file. We had created this 5 to 6 years back in my previous company. It's
mhm,
called KRAS Actionable Timesheet, something like that. But
mhm, mhm,
every time I wanted to track it, somehow I used to lose track of it. And
mhm,
halfway through, half day I complete, and I'm like, oh, check it, it's not working. Not a
mhm.
single time I've been able to track an entire day the way I've been tracking using Toggle Track. And
What helped you so much to keep on tracking
the
the reminders, or I think you're having some connection issues. I can't hear you. I received no audio or no sound or video. Ah, exactly when the discussion was getting
hello,
interesting. Okay, now I can hear you fine. Yeah,
hello, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
See, the thing is, Toggle Track. I have a desktop app as well. I've installed a
Hmm.
desktop app which has a
Hmm.
shortcut. It's
Yeah.
like a small box which will be floating around.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
anytime I want to track something,
Yeah. Connection issues again. Oh, I don't know. It's from you or it's from me. Let me know if I'm interrupting also on your side.
hello.
Okay,
I
the sound.
I'm
Okay,
not
now
sure.
it's
I
back.
think there was some issue. Yeah.
Hmm.
So there is a floating window here, small
Hmm.
window. So I can
Hmm.
just type in that and automatically start tracking it. I can add the project details and all later. And
Yeah,
every now and then
exactly.
it'll keep giving me a reminder stating, please
Hmm.
start tracking. Please start tracking.
Okay,
So
okay.
even if I've forgotten, I'll enter there, and though there are times when I forget, I have the option to go back and change the time, starting time, ending time, and
Exactly.
stuff.
That's what I'm doing also. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
And I've even linked that with my Gmail and Todoist. So when I go to Todoist, if I have to start a task, there only I have the toggle track
Hmm.
button. I
Yeah.
click on
Yeah.
that, it'll start there.
Hmm.
So the ease with which I'm able to track is amazing.
Hmm.
And the insights,
Hmm.
initially when I started off, I used to see when I'm doing a task, all of a sudden somebody will come. I'll get
Hmm.
up to go and have some water. I'll go down and things
Hmm.
like that. I started tracking even that. And
Hmm.
then I realized the amount of all those things I put under miscellaneous.
Hmm.
So on the first day when I started tracking, my miscellaneous time was more than my actual time of work.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
And I was like, this is uh, crazy. I am not able to spend on a particular task for more time than how much I'm using it for
Hmm. Hmm.
miscellaneous. So
Hmm.
that was like a huge insight to me. Now I'm
Hmm.
so, there's a long way to go, but still for me, uh, the very fact that end of the day when I see so much of miscellaneous, I realize I'm wasting a lot of time. And if I'm able to
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
this,
It's not maybe I don't know specifically on what you're talking about, but I have a lot of small tasks also, miscellaneous, like you are calling them. Um, what I'm doing, I try not to record the tasks that take a fewer than 10 or 15 minutes. So I'm focusing, even though I have tasks that take so little, I try to bulk them up. I mean, group them as by project, by client, by activity, by mood, by if I do them in the browser or if I do them by, I don't know, moving around or doing some activity. I try to group them,
okay,
do them in bulk. Um, as much as you try, the first step that you discovered is very important, because in few months, maybe even sooner, you will see yourself that kind of on autopilot, kind of automatically. You will try to focus more on the most important tasks, the big tasks, the big chunks, and
Exactly.
your miscellaneous will become smaller. But that's not an uh, a work that you do to accomplish that. That will you will accomplish that
That's a
naturally.
byproduct.
Yeah, it's by design. It's productivity by design. That's kind of I don't know how to explain this, but
It
if I
happens
want,
naturally.
yeah, naturally. And the naturally path of happening for everything, it's the right way, it's the easy way, but
Exactly. Exactly.
not the clear way. It's not clear for me what's the natural way. I have to
Mhm.
discover it. Sometimes I
Exactly.
try very hard and I still can't figure it out. For
Mhm.
example, my the way I'm tracking my tasks, it's something there that's not doesn't come naturally. So I have friction there, but I'm struggling with it. I accomplish it, like you said. This is the first step. If you acknowledge it, it's the first step. And I'm sure, just by trying to keep doing it, someday I will just have like an aha moment or something like that, and I will just be everything will fill all the cracks and it will be all right. I had a busy week this week. My
Mhm.
calendar was full.
Mhm.
I had very few things to capture. I don't know why, because usually I have lots of capturing stuff to do.
Mhm.
It's still a strange time for me with the GTD system, but at the
Mhm.
same time, I experienced the same feeling like last week. It works, but I don't know why it works. I don't
Mhm.
capture as much. I don't use the system as much, but it kind of, I don't know, it's kind of a flow. The system is a mess for me right now. I have
Mhm.
tasks all over the place. They are not clear, as you said to me on the private, but I didn't had time to answer. They are not on the right in the right project. They are not in the right I don't know
Order
how
or position.
order. Yeah, exactly. They are all over the place. I can find them easily. I can keep track of them, but they are not in order. It's
Mhm.
way far from any order for them to be. But I still trust the system.
Exactly.
I still use it,
Mhm.
but still I have friction with it, and it's not a big problem for me. But it's something that I'm trying to find a way to make it to have a less friction on this. I'm very happy with the toggle for you. I didn't expect to be such a big changer for you,
I
but I'm
must say
so
it's a
happy.
huge, huge shout out to you because this one thing, I really had no idea that there are apps and softwares for this.
Mhm, mhm,
I used to struggle my tracking, but I always wanted to track my time. But now
mhm,
I think
mhm,
if I continue this for a month, it will just become a part of my life. I was able to track time even for a call. I wanted to have a financials call with my brother.
mhm.
That's generally personal, but I was able to track even that. And I realized that I spent 3 hours on it, which I would not have
Yeah.
known had I not
Mhm,
used the tracking. And
yeah.
I sat for my personal financials. It took around 1.5 hours. I never used to think that it will take so much time. I always used to think half an hour is enough. But
Mhm.
now, like how you said, because I know how much time I'm using for each task, I'll become better at planning because I
Exactly.
know it cannot work for just half an hour. I might
Mhm.
have to put it as 1.5 hours.
It's something like you become current with yourself, with your where are you really investing your time, and not where you think you are investing your time. It's a great insight. Um, I also try to, as you said, I don't really enter the project as I now I do, because uh, I kind of have all my projects already defined. They are not really projects, they are more areas. So I have the
Same with
project
me.
list, it's more like an area. So I have all the areas defined because I'm using this system for years and years. There's nothing new now for me, so it's very easy
Mhm.
for me. And when I'm using the report stuff, I'm using it weekly. So I'm looking at my current week, I'm looking at my past 2 or 3 weeks. Sometimes when I'm not sure, I have a busy schedule ahead, I'm kind of looking a year back to see, okay, what happened in the same month last year? Where was my focus? It was on planning conferences or doing software development. Okay, so 50% was more on this, but less on this. But what's the current situation for me? I need to focus more than I focused last year on this area and less on this year. So by just acknowledging this, by having this, okay, last year I spent more time on this. Now this year I need to spend less time on that. By knowing this, I kind of deciding objectively, not on the fast. I don't know, picking the right task to focus on. So that area, I can be sure that I accomplish everything I am focusing. Because every time we will have some urgent tasks, some urgent requests. But if I know that urgent request is in an area where I must not focus so much this month compared to the last year's same month, I know that maybe if I delay it, maybe if I delegate it, maybe if I try to find other solutions for it. So I am making sure that I really have time for the things I'm supposed to do. It's, I don't know if it's clear for you. Maybe
No, I
I'm
got
not
it.
so
I got it.
clear. Yeah,
No, no, I got
but
it.
it's
What
a.
I was thinking is
Mhm.
the impact of tracking and impact of planning is huge, and these are things which they never teach us in school. If
Mhm.
they
Mhm.
teach tracking time and planning tasks as a very important thing at school, I think all the students would become amazing at least planning and execution. That's something everybody has to do,
Yeah.
but it's the least taught. People think that a student, when he studies, he should automatically learn planning. No, planning probably has to be taught separately. So the impact of this is huge and massive. First, I want to experience it before I start explaining it to others. I want to see how it works for me, and probably two or three people who are close to me, I would just ask them to do it on an experimental basis,
Exactly.
just to see how they feel. But
Mhm.
somewhere I have a feeling that this is gonna be massive for me.
I tried also to, by experimenting, like you said, during the holidays, especially to track
Mhm.
my personal time. I don't do
Mhm.
this regularly. I don't do this this month. I won't do this anytime soon. Maybe in the summer when
Mhm.
when I will have a holiday or something like that, or a vacation. I usually don't track my personal time, my family time.
Mhm.
Because it's I I don't
It looks
have to do that.
too,
Yeah,
yeah, it looks too mechanical then.
yeah, and I just want to go by with the flow and
Mhm.
those in that part of my
But
life.
probably I feel if we have to measure the quality of our personal life, probably this might help, like the time you spend with your
Exactly.
kids.
Yeah, that's a case where you should do that, and
Probably that might
that's
actually make you
mhm,
feel very nice.
mhm. That's why I did this on the last holiday on Christmas,
Mhm.
because I was. Fit at my I do a year review also, kind of synthetic year review, nothing too complex, just what I am planning to do next year and what I really accomplished this year, so, or last year. And I was feeling kind of sad on thinking that I don't spend as much time as I want with my family. And by
Family, okay.
tracking the time, I discovered that my work and family ratio is better than I thought of realistically. By tracking the time, I discovered that I really spend time with my family. Okay, anytime you can spend more time with your family, that's not a problem. But I was spending enough time or more time that I thought before capturing this or before trying to record this time.
So you are
So
able to validate
yeah, I
this.
validated. After that, just a peace of mind that I had from that, it just followed me till this month, and I think it will still follow me till summer at least. This peace of mind that this is keeping is being cared of on this system of autopilot. I don't need to track that, so that's assuring for me. Another thing you can do, I had a really great boost of confidence in my organization when I showed my superiors, my boss, I showed them my tracking time system. They really enjoyed it. I daily keep this report. I daily show them my daily report for them. At the end of the day, I just send them the report. I I think once or twice in 3 or 4 years, I've got some questions from them, but the rest of the time, no questions about why did you spend so much time on that, or no questions at all on this system. This was my main concern before showing them my system, because I was keeping track of the time I was spending on work 6 months before showing them. I never showed them that before, and because I was kind of afraid that they will argue with me on the hours I spent, but this never happened. And after I did that, the huge boost in confidence that I got from them was mind blowing, and I I think I'm realizing now that since then I'm have more liberty to choose my focus areas, my tasks in my work more freely, because they are sure that they will, at the end of the day, they will receive a report that really shows my activity. So I have more liberty in my work area, and I just realized that now.
No, that's fantastic because
Yeah.
I think not many people really think of tracking their time.
Mhm.
They're like, what is the point in tracking? Why should I track it? That's what people feel. When I tell
Yeah.
someone that time can be tracked, they're like, what is the necessity? Or they're like, I don't have time to track. And I would say a person who says that he doesn't have time to track is the one who has to track, because he really doesn't know where he's spending all his time.
Uh, just by talking with you, I you can track something more. I only by testing, I tracked something more. I will show you just now. I found
Mhm,
this sheet on the internet. It's a
mhm,
Excel spreadsheet. So this is tracking. I don't believe in this tracking your libido. I don't know why they put this here, but I was tracking my energy levels. I'm look, yeah. So I was waking up at 6 a.m. Of course, my energy level wasn't on 5 is max, right?
mhm, mhm.
But I was
Wow.
tracking my mood.
Hmm. This seems
So
interesting.
this was interesting for me. If you see,
Wow.
the mood affects greatly the energy, and vice versa, the energy affects greatly the mood.
Mhm,
If you look at this was a day full of confidence. I was having a great course. I was reading 150 pages in a book. It was a great day for me.
hmm.
This is how a great day looks. uh,
My
Look,
God.
this is how a bad day looks.
Mhm,
This is how, I don't know, end of the week tired the week looks.
hmm.
This is a weekend. I don't know. So this is fun to. to try.
When did you start doing this?
I don't do it regularly. I don't do it now. I did it for like 2 weeks. It was a test, but it was a great insight. After tracking for 2 weeks, I started to, because this is energy, this is mood. I don't believe this in tracking libido. This is, I don't know how to, the urge to have sex, or I don't know, to think about sex or something like that. This is where I tracked my coffee intake. After experiencing this for 2 weeks, I started to drink more coffee, because I discovered that drinking coffee not in the morning, but during the evening, helped me to keep my energy up. So after this 2 weeks test, I I started to drink more coffee daily. Something, if I'm sure if I am will do this test again this year, I will focus more on my eating behaviors also, because I'm sure eating the hours when I'm eating or what I'm eating also influence a lot on my energy and my mood. So this is where I keep track on the energy levels. I keep track on the mood, only when, well, of course, I was awake. My my mood varied greatly by the day. If you see, not greatly, but varied. From this is the highest, this is kind of normal. Yeah. I don't see a day. Okay, this is low, very very low mood. This is, maybe I was upset or something. I don't remember now. I also tried, if you see here, I didn't keep track of my activity, but after that I started to keep track of my kind of estimate activity, not really precise like toggle. This also helps to see where there are differences in mood. This is where you see I have 5 on energy, 5 on mood. When the energy decreases, the mood decreased also. But you can see this here also.
So when you say
This
energy,
also.
it means how pumped up you are to do work. That is energy.
Yeah. For example, here, when I have energy 3, my eyes are kind of starting to hurt. I'm feeling very tired. I feel the need to sleep, something like that. When it's 4, I'm active. I can do hard work maybe, but I don't I feel like that my energy is losing, that I can't start a big project right there. I can't do very high focused work right then, because I can be sure that if I do high focus work at the 4 energy, I might, and it's late. The hour makes a big importance. Also, it was 9 p.m. my hour. I'm sure after that I will just be more maybe than 3 on my energy level, less than 3. But this is a great experiment. Also, you can try this. Also, I can find this, but don't. I didn't. This is you can try this for 7 days. I tried this for 14 days. I think 7 days is enough. I tried it, I experimented it for more than this, because I don't know where's the next table, because I was trying. On the first day I didn't really track my time. Look, I was doing GTD right then. I was learning GTD right then. On the first day, I really didn't do my best job on tracking this. That's why I did it for, look, on the last day I didn't really. This is where I started the David Allen's book. I will give you this link. I will make
I think there is download a fresh copy of this sheet.
Exactly.
That is the one.
I didn't do it. I just copied it from some site. I will give you the link.
Yeah, no problem. You can send it up.
This is something nice to try also. But one thing I want to, and after that I'll leave you talk more because I've talked a lot
No
again.
worries. No worries.
Uh, you already had the habit of keeping track of time. You had already had a big advantage. So were talking about telling other people about this. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
it will be very hard for them to do
I know.
this.
For this, somebody has to have the drive from within to do it. And only if somebody feels that they need to work on themselves and improve, and this could be one tool to give them insights, such people will do. Otherwise, people will be like, why do I need to track? For whom? What's
Mhm.
it gonna do? How is gonna help? But what I have observed is just by tracking how much time we are spending on something gives us a lot of insight. It's like tracking money. If I don't track how much money I'm
Exactly.
spending and where I'm spending, I just lose out on all my money. Same is the case with time.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
I just one thing I want to mention. This is not directly into task management, but this is a little bit into stocks. I don't know if you do stocks, but
I don't. I want to
okay.
learn, but I don't. Maybe you can
Okay,
teach me.
so yeah, the thing is, I and my brother we are doing a little bit of cryptocurrency.
Mhm.
Not, it's not completely stock. It's not completely out of stock. It's
Mhm.
something similar, but the advantages of cryptocurrencies you can do 24 hours, 365 days, not restricted to one location.
Mhm.
Stock exchange is your country specific, but crypto is worldwide.
Mhm.
So we were looking at some videos, and in one video they talk about the mistakes that we do in stock market.
Mhm.
And one of the mistakes is you buy and you are very desperate to sell when it falls.
Mhm. Mhm.
And that is one of the ways people lose money. And the general suggestion is when you buy a stock, keep it for a long time, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, you will definitely see a return. But if you're buying it for now and say in 6 months you want to get a huge return, that's a very risky move. So one thing what he says is when you're investing in stocks, the fluctuation is something that people think it's like a fine that you pay.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
every time you think of selling it off or you get the emotional tension of selling it off, that's a fine that you pay. It's like losing money. The author says, don't think that it's a fine, think that it's a fee that you pay. Like
Yeah,
what
and
he says
that's
is, like parking, if you park in a place where you're not supposed to park and they give you a fine, you hate it. But if they say you have to pay to park here, you happily pay. In the sense,
yeah.
over a fine, you happily pay. So he says, you think that this is a fee, not a fine. So I feel tracking time and planning, the time that we invest for tracking and planning is a fee. It's not a fine. We cannot
Yeah.
think that we are paying, we are losing time by tracking it. We have to say we are paying a small fee to get to know how much time we are spending where. That's the
That's a
small fee
great
that you're paying.
that's a great insight, Sam. I think this should be a great motivator for us to do the weekly review, to think at it.
Exactly.
This is a fee that we have to pay, so we can
Yeah.
keep our sanity for the next week, next week ahead.
Exactly. And see, though I'm talking so much, since morning I've been thinking of sitting and doing my weekly review, and I started it just half an hour before your call, the original
Mm.
time,
Yeah,
your
yeah.
5 o'clock. I
Mhm.
started around 4:30 your time of doing the review, and then I was like, I don't have time. Half an hour, I
Mhm.
can't do my review. I have my session with Ionut, and all of a sudden my emergency came.
Mhm.
Now I have to ensure that I sit and finish my review. Probably this I could have done in the morning, but I did all other things in the morning and I just left out review. But every time I'm realizing the importance of review even more. Like today, I value it even more. And probably next week, that will be the first thing I do on my
Yeah,
Friday
yeah.
morning. The moment I finish my walk, I come, I sit and finish off my review
Yeah.
because it's
S-
so
s-
insightful, my
yeah.
weekly review.
try listening to, I don't know, your favorite band or music while doing your weekly review. Try not to get disturbed by miscellaneous stuff while doing your weekly review.
True, true, true.
uh I know, I think we talked about the Pomodoro technique.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure that you know what it does.
No, actually, I realized when I'm sitting and trying to do a task, what I realized is I'm not being able to sit for more than 15 minutes. So I realized my attention span is very less. I
Mhm,
get distracted so soon. And I
mhm.
was like, my God, I need to work on my attention. I have
Yeah,
attention deficit disorder.
yeah. Look, I don't have Facebook on my phone.
No, I also don't have Facebook, but I
uh
have WhatsApp. WhatsApp is a huge
okay,
deterrent for me.
exactly. Look here, this is where I have, this is my screen, right?
Yes.
WhatsApp is not on my main screen, it's not on my
Ah,
bottom screen, it's in a folder. And I have to do the light, I have to, this is by design,
struggle.
keep, yeah,
Yeah.
I have to struggle to get to it.
I'll do
So
that. I'll do that.
by,
I'll put WhatsApp in a
yeah,
folder which is not easy to access.
yeah, try to do this, and try to do this with everything, not only with WhatsApp. Yeah.
No,
uh
nowadays I'm planning. See, if you remember the first session that we had, I didn't have this background. Now I've shifted it to a place where
mhm.
this table is completely for what you say, review stuff and other things. So I'm
That's
not doing
great.
any work in my room. So slowly I want
Mhm,
to shift my phone here so that when I
mhm,
go to my room, it's only for sleeping. I
mhm,
am
mhm.
not going to take my phone to my room because that's a huge deterrent I've seen.
Yep,
So
yep.
slowly I want to start coming out of it. And the past week I've been able to get up early as well. I've
Yeah,
been able to
that's
get
what,
up
that was
early.
my next question. How early are you waking up?
Oh, it's been like 5 o'clock, 4:30, 4:15.
Mhm.
It's fluctuating, but sometime before 5:15.
And what do you do in the first 2 hours of your morning?
For the past 1 week, I've not been actually focusing on this because I remember a couple of months or probably sometime in September, I was very focused. The moment I get up, I had a routine. But what happens with a routine? I slip one day and I lose my entire routine. So I didn't want to
Mhm.
be very strict with my routine. I just wanted to get up early. So that was my target. I've achieved it. And this week, for the past 3 days, I decided not to touch my phone after getting up.
Mhm, mhm,
So
mhm.
that has
Look,
been a target.
one lesson I had for a routine is this. Do you know? Do you see this graph going down? Right.
Mhm. Mhm.
We think that if we, something we don't do one day, like I don't know, if I didn't keep track of this or something like
Mhm.
that, we think
Mhm.
that we have to start all over from the start. But this is not true,
Mhm.
because look, the next day we don't start from zero. We,
Mhm.
so every time you feel that you didn't do something, you feel the, okay, I will just quit doing that. Don't remind yourself that it's easier to get right back on track, even though it's
Immediately.
not perfect, even though if you are fine with yourself that you didn't do that the past 2 weeks, just getting started. And this is a
Okay.
in the GTD system also.
Mhm.
Just get started with it, because in the technique that we have with keeping track of the first action, this is what it really means. Just get started. By the GTD system tells us that the next thing I need to track the next action item. But the tracking the next action item is just a starting point for us to just get started. The GTD system doesn't teach us how to plan everything. It doesn't teach us start with planning. No, it says what's the next action. Okay, the next action maybe it's planning, but most of the time it's not. If I don't know if you agree, but most of the
Yeah,
time the
yeah, yeah,
next
yeah.
action it's not planning.
If we just open our list, the next action list, I have categorized my next action list also into multiple sections.
Mhm.
One is priority 1, priority 2, and priority 3. So
Mhm.
anytime I just open my next action, I have a list of things to do. I don't have to sit and plan.
Yeah. So the lesson from here is that we just have to focus on getting started, on getting things done, and don't be harsh on yourself if you lose some habits. Just try to keep the good habits and just try to start them again if you lose them on the way. Especially on the mornings. Now it's hard for me because I have a little boy. It's 1 month old, but especially in the morning, I give myself time to develop on the GTD system on software development. After on reading, after I spend like 2 or 4 hours, that's the minimum daily. I spend a minimum 2 or 4 hours daily on personal development work, not doing work that I get paid for. After that, I am starting to do the work that I'm getting paid for, because I'm not going to earn more money by starting earlier in the morning or by investing time. I just start the work at the hour that everyone starts his work, but I'm giving myself time before everyone starts his work and when I start his work, to invest in myself, to invest in my self development.
Self-development.
Yeah, even though it's 1 hour, even though it's 2 hours, by doing this regularly, you will get so much value from it. Even if in your work area, you will get noticed sooner. You will get in short time, you will get better paid because you'll have more ideas, more. You will do more work than anyone else, because everyone else, they are waking up, going to work, coming home, watching TV, going to bed. So I call this, I'm learning while everyone is sleeping, something like that. So by doing that, I'm developing myself faster than the others. And I've lost a lot of time in my early ages. I'm 30 years old now. By
What's your age,
play,
you said?
I'm 31. 31.
Okay. Cool.
I lost a lot of time playing computer games, video games, console games, and that was a really lot of lost time. Our time is running out on this session. If you have
No
something to
problem.
add, Sam.
Just one last thing. One last thing. I had read this book called as Atomic Habits. That's by a person called James Clear. I
I
don't
know
know
the
if
book
you have.
very well. It's a great book. A great book. Yeah.
Okay. What he says in that is, even if you can improve 1% every day, in a year, you're becoming 37 times better than
It's
last year.
compound interest. It's a compound
Exactly.
interest. Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
when you said you're improving, if you're spending 1 hour every day to improve ourselves, the end of the year, the difference is massive. So
Exactly.
I
Totally
think
agree on
we
this.
all need to spend that time. It's investing time on ourselves.
Great time, Sam. Can't wait for
Fantastic.
the next session. Can't wait for the next
Take
session.
care.
Great time again.
Yeah.
And take care.
Those
Yeah.
sheets, can you share? The
Yeah.
ones which you showed?
I've
Yeah.
sent you the link already.
Okay, let me check. Let me check.
I'm sorry if this session will interrupt. It says it's less than 1 minute
No
until
problem.
it's.
No problem. Absolutely fine.
Please confirm me that you received the link.
Let me check.
I think it
Yeah, I've
asks you
received it.
for an email or something like that.
No
Just put your
problem. I'll
data
do
in
that.
there. Yeah, it's
I'll
not
do that.
mine.
I'll do
It's
that.
from the guy that I took it from. Yeah.
No problem.
Thank you,
Thank you
Sam.
so much. It was very
Thank you.
insightful.
Oh,
Thanks.
same here. Same here, Sam. Same here. Thank you
Take
so
care.
much.
Bye
Take
bye.
care.
Bye
Take
bye.
care.